Hey y'all, I'm back with another 12 days of DIY, and this is day 6 where I show you how I create simple project life cards. So for some of these, I'm looking through cards in my stash just to see if there's a quote I like or maybe an element or an icon that I like. And so I am going to pull a couple of these and take something from them. For some of them, I just create on my own, and so I'll kind of point that out as we go. I'm using all white cardstock. These are pre-made Project Life cards or pre-cut Project Life cards, and or Becky Higgins, and I think I got them from Joann's. The alpha set that I'm using here is called Riley's ABCs, and it's a Lawn Fawn stamp set. I love the size of it, and I love the font as well. So I'm really loving simple cards lately for some reason, and I love the look of like a clean layout as well. I mean, sometimes, and I say that knowing that I love color too, that sometimes I love to put a lot of things on my layouts and embellishments, and I love a lot of color. And then sometimes I really just love the fresh look. And so I decided because I'm always looking for simple cards in my stash, I decided to go ahead and create some and then share them with you guys. So like I said, I took this quote. Maybe I didn't say this. I took this card and set it aside, and I really love the quote on it. And it said, I want to fill my heart with what's important. So I'm going to copy that, and then I am going to add a little heart. And the heart that I use is from a Concord and Ninth stamp set, I believe. And just kidding. Yes, I do use that stamp set. And then I stamped it in this Pale Tomato ink by Hero Arts. So for this card, I decided that I really love those polka dots, and so I pulled a dot or a circle from that same stamp set from Concord and Ninth, and I'm just going to stamp completely across the page and off some of it, or off the corner of the card around the entire card. That way it kind of gives it a finished look. And I put a little scratch paper underneath. For this one, I decided that I really loved this leafy little vine look, and so I decided to stamp that on each side, and then I'm going to stamp a sentiment right in between. And I love cards like that because if you have like a 2x2 photo, you can add that right underneath, and you can even probably have some room for journaling. I think I find it harder to use the cards that have like a quote, or I don't want to say a quote. I guess I should say like an icon or a saying or a phrase or quote or whatever in the very middle, because sometimes I have a lot of pictures and I don't always have room for filler cards, and then sometimes I do. So you'll see on that one that I did just before that, I actually just stamped something on the right hand side, which gives me room to place like a 3x4 picture or something on the left side. For this one, it just looks like dots at this point, or circles, but I'm actually going to stamp right on top of that. This stamp set is from W Plus 9, and it's a floral stamp set, and I think it's called Fresh Cut Florals, and it is so pretty. I've had this for several years now, and I still use it to make monogram little stationery pieces. I was having a hard time finding the right green for my leaves, and so I decided that I was going to go with a Simon Says Stamp teal ink. And again, I'm just kind of placing some of the leaves and the flowers off of the corners of the card just so that it gives it a finished look. So for this one, I'm going to do something very similar that I did with that other one, where I place a sentiment right in between the leaves, the leaf pattern. It's a different leaf pattern because obviously, or an icon, because I use the Fresh Cut Florals for this one. This stamp that I'm using here, I just love this stamp set. I think it's from Neat and Tangled, and it has a bunch of different circles on it. And I love circles for the fact that they're simple and you can punch them with your circle punches. For this one, I'm going to keep it pretty simple as well, and I'm going to use just, you see I was cleaning off my stamp set, and then I toyed with the idea of using Versamark ink, and then I decided not to. But I ended up loving the way that this turned out, and I just stamped Simply Today, and that's a perfect card for journaling. So I love creating little cards where something's at the top, and then you can simply add whatever you want below it, whether it's a small photo or whether it's your journaling from a typewriter or from your handwritten, or if it's handwritten. So for this one, I decided I saw this card that said it's a Dear Lizzie card, and it said, "This is my fave" or something. I think. And so I decided I liked the word or the phrase my fave. I don't know if I did my faves or my fave. I can't remember. And I'm using this LA Studio stamp set for that. And I had a hard time getting this ink to work with me, but I think it ended up turning out pretty cute. And I love that it's, I don't know, I have a hard time finding like a true mint ink. And that one's pretty close, I would say. But I think the one that I have that's from Avriel that's pigment ink is probably the truest mint that I have. I placed this stamp set right underneath that other one. It said, or this stamp, it says, "This is my favorite story," or something like that. So I thought that was cute because it said my fave, and then it said, "This is my favorite story" underneath. And then you can obviously type out journaling or use a picture of some sort. So here's where I'm looking through my stash again to see if there's anything I can kind of mimic or anything I can pull. And I decided that I loved the idea of putting hello across the card diagonally like that other one is. I actually think that's a cut apart. I think I cut that down from maybe like a 12 by 12 paper. But anyway, I love the look of that. So I decided to do that on this card. And this is a great card to layer a photo on top or even put an embellishment right on top. And then for that other one, I loved the florals going around the edge of the card. And so I am going to try that. For this one, I decided that I liked the idea of kind of offsetting this little phrase. I think it said family night or something. And I love the idea of offsetting that across the right-hand side so that I have room for a 3x4 photo on the left. This is where I'm going to create the floral one. And I'm just going to go around with this first ink. And I think I'm using bubblegum ink from Hero Arts. It comes in a little cube. You can also get it in the regular size. And then I'm going to use Butter Bar for this next one. Like I said, I was trying to mimic the florals going around the edges. It could even look more like that other card if I used some adhesive sheets where I could mask the inside, but I actually decided that I didn't really care to do that. It still turned out super cute. And then I'm adding mint. I also added an orange color. I think the orange is called orange soda. And then I added that mint julep. And I think I'm pretty much done. I'm going to show you the final result here. And then there will be a few final photos. I hope you guys gain some inspiration to create some simple project life cards for your stash. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend.